Hey YouTube, so today this lesson is going to be for small foodie content creators and also for small businesses that are starting out with creating content online. So today's topic is going to be about what equipment do you use? You're just starting out or you're seeing other folks putting videos online and you're like, how in the world are they doing this? I'm going to share with you what equipment that I use to get my content out there. So, first of all, I'm going to share that I have multiple social media accounts specifically for my foodie content. So, for my foodie content, I am on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and Lemon8. On my channel that is specifically for marketing, like with me talking with you now, I am on YouTube. I have another channel specifically on YouTube where all I'm doing is driving in the Chicagoland area. You would be surprised that there are folks out there that love to watch people driving. So nice passive income channel for myself just to drive around and show people what the Chicagoland area is like. People are either on there because they just like watching the video or they're planning on traveling to Chicago and they want to know what the traffic is like, what is the scenery like. Okay, the other channel that I have specifically on YouTube is concert footage. So anytime I go to a concert in Chicago, I have not been fortunate enough to travel and go to concerts, but if I'm going to a concert that's in Chicago, I am going to be taking footage. And really, it's not for the audience, it's for me because I want to be able to watch that video as much as I want, whether I'm at home, whether I'm at work, or if I'm on a like traveling or whatever. I want to be able to see that footage anytime I want. Now I can do that through a drive, which I do back up my footage there, but I also share it on YouTube. Okay, now that channel I am not monetizing on because I don't want YouTube to close that channel out. Okay, so the equipment that I use, I get questions about that on all of those social media channels that I just mentioned. How is your video so clear? What are you using? How are you able to get your videos to look like that? I've seen other concert footage and it didn't look that way. What do you use? What type of digital camera are you using? I am not using a digital camera. I am using my iPhone. And you can do this whether you have an iPhone or if you have a Samsung Galaxy phone or a Google Pixel phone, the Android series of phones. You can do this. Now, what I'm going to share with you is that when I am recording with my iPhone specifically, I do have a iPhone Pro Max. It is 3 years old. It is an iPhone 15. I believe the latest series out there now is an iPhone 17. So you can either have an older phone or you can have the latest and greatest, but you want to make sure that you have high quality settings on your foodie content or any content that you are putting out there as a small business. So settings that I use with my iPhone, I always have it at 4K. I always have it at 60 frames per second. Now, with all of those social media channels that I named at the beginning, and I did that for a reason. All of those social media channels that I had named, a majority of them only will accept the 4K, but they'll compress it to 1080p, which is like full HD. Okay. So it's going to look good on your phones. It's going to look good on TV screens. It's going to look good on tablets. So you want your video to be what they call responsive, where so that it is viewable on any type of platform or any type of device. Okay. So if you're looking at the video content on a large screen TV, because a lot of people on YouTube do look at content on TV screens. So you want to know where you're posting your content at and how, what type of quality that you're using. Okay. So if it's on YouTube and you're doing like a full long, long form video, like this is a long form video, anything that's over 3 minutes on YouTube will be considered as long form. So you want to make sure that you're using high quality. Right now, the highest quality that YouTube is accepting is 4K. So you want to record in 4K. If you know that you are only going to be doing YouTube shorts, you want to record at 1080p. Okay, so that's just full HD. Also, all the other channels that I had mentioned, Instagram, Facebook, if you're posting on TikTok, those are 1080p too. If you are with the Instagram, you used to be able to do, and you still can, you can do like long form on Instagram and you can upload 4K on that, but sometimes it will compress to 1080 if I'm not mistaken. So it's always best to record your videos at the highest quality as possible. And you're going to upload it, and you're just going to let that social media platform do what it's going to do. And if it compresses it, at least when it compresses it, your quality won't look bad because you had already uploaded it at the highest quality. Now, keep in mind when you are recording in high quality that it's going to take up space on your phone. So you want to make sure that you have like some type of backup device. So with me having an iPhone, I have an iPhone. I also have an iMac. I'm like Apple ready. So, and that's because of the type of work that I do outside of this content creating. So I have an iPhone. I have an iMac. I have an iWatch. I have a iPad. And so I'm able to move files very easily through the AirDrop. So I can AirDrop it to each one of those types of devices. But I also can upload it to my iCloud. So that's like my backup area where I am saving my files. I don't necessarily save a lot on my phone itself. I have it back up to my iCloud drive. If I am using my computer, I have two ways of backing up these files. And the reason why I'm giving you this information is because when you're recording in 4K, it is a very large file size. And depending on the type of phone that you've purchased, it's going to take up space. So my phone is 256 gigabytes. Okay. But when you're recording in 4K, it's going to take up a lot of space. And there's also what they call camera raw, and that takes up way more space, but that is like super duper high quality if you're recording with an iPhone device. So if I'm on my computer, I'm backing it up on my Google Drive. I can back it up on my iCloud, but I do have a Google Drive because I once was an Android user and I was using Google Drive for a lot of backup purposes, like my not just my videos but also photos, because people have digital cameras for a very long time. So I've been uploading to Google Drive for a long time for my backups, as well as having my photo albums. But I also have a separate device, which is my my external drive, and I'm gonna have links to all the things that I'm talking about: the phone, the backup drives. I'm going to give you a link inside the video description where you can see what devices I'm talking about, so you can purchase those yourself or at least look into it and research it more for yourself. So with that 4K video, I like to AirDrop it to multiple devices if I need to, but I'm always saving on an external drive. And that's because, again, it takes up space. And also, let's say, for instance, that I have published a shorts video, or I created like a recipe and I want to share it with the world. I can do that. But let's say, for instance, maybe 2 months later, I want to repurpose that content. At least I have it saved on an external drive. I can cut my edits, make it smaller, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, maybe use different parts of content from what I originally recorded, I have all of that on an external drive and I can repurpose that content. So those are just things that you want to keep in mind when you are recording. Where is it going? What equipment are you using? And where are you saving this information so that you can use it and repurpose it at later times? Okay, so that is all about the phone. That is all about the external drive. Now, the other thing that I make sure that I have is good lighting. So a lot of times if I am at home, I am using a device, a lighting device, where I can actually clip that light onto my cabinets. I can stand it up on my tables and or my countertop, and I can have a light source shown on that food. I'm going to have a link to that device inside the video description so that you can see what that is. And that device is very, very nice. It's very easy to transform it into different areas of a light source in your home or if you're out and about. The other light source that I have is a clip that can go directly onto the back of my phone. And if I'm recording like close-up shots, that light source can be all over the food. Now, this is very, very helpful. And it may seem weird, but that device, that light source is very helpful if I'm in a restaurant and it's dark. Now, there are times where I have forgotten to bring that doggone light for my phone, and it pisses me off because I'm like, man, why is the light so dark and dim inside this restaurant? Because I can't even see what's on the menu. And two, if I want to record my content, I need a better light source. So I know people are there just to eat, but I want to have that memorable experience and share it with you all, like what that food experience was like. So I do my best to try to bring that phone, that light clip for my phone when I'm recording when I'm out. Okay, so you want to make sure you have a good phone equipment. You want to make sure you have a nice light source. You want to make sure you have an external drive for backing up all of this content. The last thing is you want to think about if you are doing voiceovers for your videos. So, hey, you're out and about and you are at this nice and exciting restaurant, and you're either going to do your voiceover live while you're there, or you're going to cut that video and you're going to record over your video editing, at a later time. You want to make sure that you have a nice microphone. Now, you can speak into your phone and you can speak into your computer if you're editing that way. However, having a good microphone is really key. The voice is going to sound much better and much richer, and you're not going to have like a lot of background because of the way that if you have a really good microphone, how it's going to pick up. Okay, so again, I'll have a link to that in this video description so that you can see what that's about. Okay, so we talked about 4 things. These are the 4 key things that you need to start doing your video creation, your content, your sharing online, all of that things. These are the equipment, the actual equipment that you need to get started. Okay, again, you just need your phone. Okay, a good phone. Don't get some cheap phone. And if you are really going to invest in this, get the best phone that you can, but know that that phone is not just for talking. It's not just for texting. It's not just for being on social media. You're using this as an investment because you want to do this either as a hobby or you're doing it as a business. You're doing content creation. Okay, so get a good phone. You want to make sure you have a nice external drive. You want to make sure you have a really nice light source, and you want to make sure that your sound, that it sounds good. So you want to have a nice microphone. And everything that I am telling you, besides the phone, everything that I'm telling you is very inexpensive for you to be able to purchase. And again, I'll have these links in the video description. I have an Amazon influencer page. The links that I am giving you, it is not going to cost you more. It's just commission based for me. So if you're clicking on it, I may get a few cents, and I mean just a few cents. I ain't getting dollars, just a few cents from sharing this content and the equipment that I use, because this is actual equipment that I use for my videos. So I hope that this information was helpful for you. I do have another video about software and video editing, and that video editing tool is called InShot. You can watch that on the next video. I hope you all have a nice day.